Hey everyone, you are listening to the Startup Selling Podcast, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching the Startup Selling Podcast. It's Talking Sales with Scott Sambucci, and also Julian Hero, and also Steven Anderson. So we're kicking off a little experiment starting right now. And today's experiment that we're kicking off is a daily powwow about sales with the team and me. So Julian and Steven and I all work together here at SalesQualia. These are the guys that make the engine go here with the company. And one of the things we realized the other day in one of our daily stand-ups is that we're talking about sales stuff each and every day. And we're like, man, there's a ton of information that it gets locked into these conversations that we're having with each other about sales, how we run our company, how we're helping our clients, how our clients are getting results, strategies they're doing, tactics that they're trying, all that good stuff. And so what we decided is we're going to give it a shot to do our own little podcast here as kind of a daily riff on what we're working on. And hopefully in here, there will be some really good nuggets of actionable stuff that you can take with us or take with you. So that's it. That's the introduction. And so now I'm going to do is open up the conversation. It's going to be very free form. So I'm going to ask you to hop along the ride with us and enjoy the conversation. We'll see how long it goes. Maybe it goes 30 minutes. Maybe it goes 10 minutes. Maybe it goes 2 hours. I don't know. We'll see at the end of the podcast, and we'll go from there. So, all right, guys, let's do it. Say hi. First of all, Julian, Steven, say hi to the maybe millions of people listening or watching us all across the world.
What's up, everybody?
Hi, everyone. We did it at the same time. Always happens, man.
Always happens.
What's that? Oh, you guys say it at the same time. I know. We should do one or the other first. So let's pick a topic. Steven, what's one thing we're working on the sales front?
Being human.
Being human.
Yes.
Oh man, you picked a topic close to my heart right now. Want to tell folks what we mean by being human?
Yeah, absolutely. So literally one thing we always have to remember is in sales and in most things that you do in business, you're dealing with people. So you need to make yourself approachable. You need to make your outreach conversational and always be providing value, but do that in a very human way. So take an extra minute before you send that email. Would you answer this email? Would you answer this message? And always remember, sometimes if people even don't get back to you for a while, they might really be going through something really, really hard. And you have to be a human to really just understand and really make sure that you are approaching people in the right way so that you are providing value and not stepping on anybody's toes.
Dude, I love that. I want to dig deeper into why that's been a topic here in just a minute. And so Julian, what does it mean to you when we talk about being human?
Yeah, so when we started talking about being human, the first thing that came to mind was this obsessiveness about automating things. So it's cool to have automations, but it's cool also to have a conversation with people. And sometimes when you actually reach out and connect with someone, the results are better. So it's nice to just forget sometimes about all the automation and actually connect with people and have a real conversation.
Yeah, and so I'll unpeel a couple layers of the onion here, since Steven brought up the topic of being human, and I'll be open transparency here. So one of the things that we've been doing over the last, for years here is constantly trying to install systems, both for ourselves on how to make our company grow, and also, of course, with our clients. And one of the things that we discovered over the last couple of months in particular is that as we've been building out our own lead generation systems, our own prospecting systems, how we get our clients to go from a prospect to a client, is that we had all these systems that were working kind of in theory, getting lots of conversations, getting lots of calls, lots of people want to talk to us, but it was lacking soul. It was lacking a certain amount of humanness. And so it got really frustrating because we're having tons of conversations with entrepreneurs and startup CEOs. And yeah, we're getting clients and all that stuff, and things are great. But it just felt like it was missing something. And so I did a workshop about a week and a half ago with one of our key partners, somebody we've been partnering with now for years. I've done probably 12 workshops over the years. with this group. And after the workshop, I got a text message from the organizer, the woman that's our main contact there. She said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a couple of minutes?" I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Never had that message before." And so I said, "Sure, of course." And so we hopped on the phone, and she said, "Look, here's the thing. The workshop was really great. It just was a lot different. A couple of the teams said that they were expecting a little of this, and they didn't get that. They're expecting other kind of outcomes. And it just felt," she said, "it just felt more salesy than it has in the past. It was less workshop, more salesy." And she basically called us out on some changes that we had made to the way we were doing our workshops, with some adjustments based on trying to convert leads, trying to get more people help. And it really hit home for me. And so the team and I have been talking about how do we make sure that we're staying human and not focus so much on how many leads can we get, or how many conversations, or how many sales audits do we have in the bucket. More about making sure we get the right message to the right people, and then letting the business stuff take care of itself. So that was a little bit of a diatribe, I guess, but that's where all this human talk came from. So
I want to add something to that. So sometimes it's easy to get really seduced by the numbers. And what I mean by that is you can find a tool that sends 100 connection requests a day, but then in reality, you find out that you don't need to send 100 requests a day. You only need to send 5 really good requests a day. And that'll make the real impact in the company, not sending out hundreds and hundreds of meaningless connections.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, look, and there's, like Julian said at the beginning, when he was first sharing some thoughts, I think, there is a time and a place for automation. And you can't sit down and do 100 LinkedIn connections a day manually. There's a time and a place to automate some of those things. There's also a time and a place to just be human and actually write out the connection request. Or when you get an email from your website, an inbound lead, instead of kicking off a 4 email automated sequence, why don't you just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Jack, saw that you just came into the website. My name's Scott Sambucci. I'm the founder and CEO of our company. And I just wanted to call and say thank you for checking out our website. How can I help you?" That stuff doesn't scale. But I bet you learn a hell of a lot more about what your customers want, and you'll get a much stronger connection with those people.
I'd add another thing to that too. Like you mentioned, not scaling. There's a book by Seth Godin called Purple Cow. Have either of you guys read it?
I've heard of this book. Tell me about it.
So one of the big theses in the book is basically to be remarkable. Like literally you see a purple cow, you're like, what the hell is that? And to provide that type of experience for your customers and within your marketing. So when you mention not scalable, like something that really comes to mind to me is like handwritten notes. Everyone's emailing everybody today. Everyone's sending a LinkedIn message. But when's the last time you got a handwritten note from somebody that's just like, "Hey, really enjoyed whatever you're doing." Like the physical nature of the thing is in front of you. You have to address it. You might throw it out, you might open it, but if there's a pen to paper, you're already immediately more engaged, because it's like, oh, someone spent some actual time doing this, putting this in a box, addressing it to me, and making sure I got it. Yeah. So it's small things like that I think are overlooked. And being human is a strange thing to say right this way, but it's remarkable these days because everyone's kind of forgotten about that one-to-one connection and building up relationships at a slow pace and a natural.
Yeah, that's and I've also found that this sort of theme that we've been driving towards the last week or so, it's been permeating through other parts of my psyche, my mindset. So there's a coffee shop I go to almost every day, and I go and sit down for like an hour or two. And it's where I go to get like real work done, meaning like if I have to write or I have to really be analytical for some reason, I just do really good work in this workshop or in this coffee shop. And I've gotten to know the baristas there really well. I got to know the owner really well. He's a former investment banker who's retired and bought this coffee shop. So chat with him a lot. And I was leaving the other day, and I took $10 out of my wallet and I threw it in the tip jar. And I said, TH is the owner. I was like, hey man, I just want to let you know I appreciate what you and all the girls here, they're all baristas, are all girls, very young, like high school, college. Just want to let you know I appreciate everything you guys do. And the guy looked at me, he's like, no, like don't do that. I was like, it's $10, but it's just a way to show appreciation, because I get so much work done in that place, and they know me, and they walk in, they're like, oh, the usual. Like, I don't know, it just felt really good to do that. And it made an effect on him. And then the next day he told the girls that I put $10 in the tip jar, and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I was like, it's like $10. And I didn't even think they cared about the $10. I think it was just the fact that you're just showing some appreciation.
It's literally like, I see you. You're not a barista. Your name is Julie, and you're going to go to UC Davis next year. Hi.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally what you do. And like in service situations, especially, once, like, I always make a habit to ask whatever server their name is and be like, hey, thank you, John. Thank you, Mary. Whoever, every time they do something. And they're just like, oh, like, I am a person again. Like, it's so small and so, but it's so big in such a way, because it just reminds people like, oh yeah, I'm here. I'm more than what I'm doing. I'm connecting with you on a real, genuine human level. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something I heard on a podcast with a guy named Derek Sivers. He started CD Baby. Is that right?
Yeah.
The company? Yeah. CD Baby. And I don't remember exactly which podcast it was, but he was saying that when he was going in and managing his team, he would always remind himself that everybody has a pebble in their shoe. Everybody has a pebble in their shoe. Like, there's always something that's probably bothering somebody. So if they're at work, it could be something at home, it could be something at school, it could be something with their family, it could be something they're worried about. And I think just keeping that in mind with your customers and your prospects, like, people are coming in, like, they got a pebble in their shoe, and they might be rude to you on the phone, and maybe they're not being rude to you because they want to be rude to you. Maybe they just found out from their boss that they have to work all weekend, or something far worse. So just having that sort of appreciation that the person on the other side is not a transaction or a lead, they're a person. And I think the more that we can be human, the better the connections are going to be and the relationships are going to be. So.
Strongly agree.
Yep.
Cool. You guys want to talk about anything else, or should we call that a wrap here for our first little daily dose?
I think that's a good time to wrap.
I think it's a wrap. It's a good little teaser.
Good little teaser. Yeah. So look, I don't know where this is going to go. It's an experiment. We're going to try to record these. As you can see, we're on Zoom. If you're watching on YouTube, we're just recording these on Zoom. We're plugging in, 30 minutes, as many days as we can per week. Can't promise it every day. Tomorrow, for example, I'm going to be in an airplane going to Atlanta and doing a 2-day workshop. So maybe we'll find some time in the morning or the afternoon, whatever. The objective here is to do as many of these, at least a couple a week if we can. Get these recorded, share a couple of ideas. Maybe sometimes they're mindset things, maybe they're tactical things, maybe they're strategic things, maybe they're just life things or life hacks. You happen to have 3 kind of weird, oddly freakish, athletic people. Julian is a CrossFit champion. I do crazy 100-mile, 200-mile endurance runs. Steven I found out recently, did 10,000 push-ups in a day. Which is just insane to me. So who knows where the conversation's going to go. But I think this is a useful thing, because we want to share with you things that we talk about, because when we talk about these things with other people, they always tell us, like, wow, that was really useful. That was really interesting. So maybe there's something interesting. Maybe there's something useful. Maybe neither, in which case you don't have to listen to these episodes. If you are listening to the podcast and you have been a listener for a really long time, we really appreciate that. Don't worry if you really, really like the interviews, not to worry, because we're going to continue to do those. In fact, I've got a couple of really top flight guests lined up. So that's a little teaser. I'm not going to share who they are yet, but I've got them lined up and in the schedule for the next few weeks. I'm super excited about those. So we'll definitely continue doing the interviews that we do with people as that sort of long form of the podcast. And we're going to start sprinkling in these daily doses as well. So thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, thanks for listening. If you're on the podcast, tell a friend, please leave a review. so that more people can find out about what we're doing, because we want to help as many people as we can. So that's it for now. Thanks, everyone. Talk soon.
See ya.
Hey, one last thing. Before you go, I wanted to mention that just at the end there, I was asking to leave a review or tell a friend. It would really, really help us out. We work really hard to produce the content that we produce because we do want to get the message out. We do want to teach people as much as we can. As we're learning, as we're working with our clients, as we're implementing solutions, the more we can share with people like you, and the more that people like you can hear what we're trying to share, the more we're all going to, learn and grow and elevate together. So please do leave a review on iTunes. If you're listening on iTunes, that'd be really great. Please do share with a colleague, and let a friend know. Tell 10 friends about the podcast, or if you're on YouTube watching this, go ahead and subscribe and tell a friend. Okay? So that's it for now. Officially the end for this particular episode. Scott Sambucci signing off.